Have you ever been trapped in a cycle of endless thinking, caught in your own head but never moving forward? It's like a battlefield up there. No weapons, no noise, just thoughts wrestling with each other. Every decision feels like a weight, and each unanswered message or unfinished task drags you deeper into the fog. We live in a world of distractions, noise, and constant input. Everyone is shouting for your attention. Your phone buzzes, your inbox fills, and the people around you pull you in 1,000 directions. In this chaos, how can you make decisions that actually move you forward? How can you think clearly when everything around you is clouded? It starts with this: clarity is power. And in a world built on distractions, clarity is one of the rarest, most powerful assets you can possess. Think of the great thinkers in history, Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, strategists like Machiavelli, or even modern-day titans of industry. What set them apart wasn't just their intelligence. It was their ability to think clearly under pressure, to rise above the chaos, and to make decisions that shaped the world. This video is not about motivation. It is about strategy. We are going to explore the timeless philosophical principles for building a mind that is sharp, disciplined, and clear, so you can stop reacting to the world and start commanding it. Chapter 1. Diagnosing the mental battlefield. Most people don't realize it, but their minds are at war every day. The truth is, your mind is filled with distractions, unprocessed emotions, and mental clutter that are draining your clarity and sabotaging your success. When you're overwhelmed by feelings, fear, anger, doubt, you can't make powerful decisions. You react. You say yes when you mean no. You delay choices, hoping time will sort things out. But time doesn't bring clarity. It deepens your fear. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He knew that power lies in the ability to think like a cold strategist when the world is in turmoil. The reactive mind, the one that's constantly responding and trying to please, is weak. The strong mind is quiet. It doesn't chase answers. It waits, watches, and then strikes with precision. Imagine a talented manager, David. His calendar is a wall-to-wall fortress of meetings. His phone buzzes with a constant stream of urgent notifications from his team. He is the first to arrive and the last to leave, a hero of busyness, constantly solving problems and putting out fires. He feels productive, even essential. But at his quarterly review, his director shows him a hard truth. While David is an excellent problem solver, his team has missed all of its major innovative goals for the second quarter in a row. They are not growing. They are just treading water. David has become a master of the urgent, but has failed at the important. He realizes his mind is not a command center. It's a frantic 911 dispatch, reacting to everyone else's emergencies. This isn't leadership. It's a high-paid form of chaos management, and it's leading directly to his burnout. Frustrated, David decides to try a different approach, inspired by the wisdom of the strategists. He realizes his most valuable asset isn't his ability to respond, but his ability to think. He makes a radical change. He blocks out the first 90 minutes of every day for deep work. No phone, no email, no interruptions. He declines any meeting that doesn't have a clear, written agenda. He empowers his team to solve smaller problems themselves, trusting them to handle it. The first few weeks are difficult. His team is used to him being their constant safety net. But then, a shift. His team becomes more resourceful and independent. And David, with his new protected space for clarity, starts making powerful, forward-thinking decisions. He identifies a new market opportunity no one else saw, develops a real strategy, and guides his team to their most successful and innovative quarter ever. He is doing less reacting and achieving more. He stopped managing the chaos and started commanding the future. Chapter 2. The first principle. Decontaminate your mind. Your mind is your territory. Machiavelli would have told you this. The ruler who cannot defend his borders is doomed. If you let distractions, emotions, and other people's demands invade your mind, you're surrendering your power. You can take it back. The first step is to decontaminate. This connects to the ancient Eastern philosophy of Zen. A Zen master doesn't try to find peace in a noisy room. They first create a space of silence. You must do the same for your mind. Consider Sophia, a creative professional who feels she's lost her spark. She's constantly scrolling social media for inspiration, reading every industry newsletter and listening to every podcast, believing that more information is the key. But she feels more cluttered, not more creative. She decides to try a radical act of decontamination. For 1 week, she institutes a low-information diet. No social media, no news. She reads 1 book. She takes long walks in silence. The first few days are agonizing. Her mind screams for its usual dose of distraction. But then, a shift. In the quiet, her own original thoughts begin to surface. The project she was stuck on suddenly becomes clear. She didn't need more input. She needed to create the silence to hear her own output. She had to decontaminate her mental territory to find her own signal. Chapter 3. The second principle, the art of extraction. Once you've created some silence, you must deal with the enemies already inside. These are your unprocessed thoughts, your looping worries, your half-formed fears. If you don't put them on paper, they will eat you alive. Writing is not journaling. It is extraction. It is intelligence gathering. It's how you drag your thoughts out of the shadows and into the light, where you can deal with them strategically. The great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius did exactly this. His famous book, Meditations, was not written for us. It was his private war journal where he ruthlessly interrogated his own fears and judgments. He wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The practice of writing is how you choose the color. Alex is trying to make a major career decision and is paralyzed by overthinking. The options are a chaotic fog in his head. He takes out a piece of paper and performs an extraction. He doesn't try to be neat. He just writes. He dumps the chaos. What if I fail? What will my family think? Am I good enough? What if I regret it? Then he organizes the battlefield. He draws 2 columns, facts and fears. Under facts, he lists the objective data: salary, location, job duties. Under fears, he lists the emotional stories his mind is telling him. The moment he sees it on paper, he realizes he's not making a decision based on facts. He's being held hostage by his feelings. The extraction didn't give him the answer, but it gave him the clarity to see the real question. He can now make a decision from a place of power, not panic. Chapter 4. The third principle. The containment of emotion. You will face emotional turbulence. It's inevitable. But what separates great thinkers from average ones is the ability to contain those emotions, not suppress them, but control them. Unfiltered emotions are dictators. The Greek philosopher Plato described the soul as a chariot pulled by 2 powerful horses, one noble, spirit, and one unruly, appetite, with reason as the charioteer. If the charioteer cannot control the horses, the chariot will crash. Your emotions are your horses. They are your power, but only if you hold the reins. Imagine Maria is giving a presentation when she is hit with an aggressive, unfair question from a senior executive. The emotional horse of anger and shame wants to bolt. The old Maria would have become defensive. Her voice would have shaken, and she would have lost control of the room. But the new Maria has trained for this. She pauses. She takes a slow, deliberate sip of water. In that 5-second gap, the initial chemical surge of emotion passes. She doesn't suppress the anger. She contains it. She reminds herself of her core principle. I do not get rattled by things outside my control. She then answers the question not from the place of a wounded ego, but from a place of calm, unshakable clarity. The room doesn't remember the aggressive question, they remember her incredible composure. She didn't win an argument, she won the entire room by demonstrating that she is the master of her own mind. Chapter 5. The fourth principle. The forging of a mental framework. Clarity, once achieved, is not self-sustaining. It must be protected by a strong internal architecture. A mind without principles is like a fortress without walls. It will be overrun by the first sign of chaos. You must consciously forge your own mental framework. This is the essence of what the philosopher Immanuel Kant argued, that our minds structure our reality. If you don't consciously choose your own structure, you will default to the chaotic, reactive structures of the world around you. Your framework is your personal set of core beliefs and values, ranked in a clear hierarchy. A young entrepreneur, Leo, is facing a crisis. A major client is making an unethical demand that would be very profitable to fulfill, but would violate the company's stated mission. His team is divided. The purely financial argument is strong. The old Leo, without a framework, would be paralyzed by indecision, trying to please everyone. But the new Leo has done the work. A month earlier, he had sat down and forged his company's and his own core principles, and he ranked them. Number 1, integrity and customer trust. Number 2, team well-being. 3, profitability. The decision is no longer difficult, it has already been made. The unethical demand violates principle number 1. He calmly explains to his team that while the profit is tempting, it is not worth the cost of their integrity. His framework didn't just help him make a better decision. It made the decision for him, with clarity and without hesitation. The power of a clear mind. Here's the final truth. You are not your emotions. You are not your fleeting thoughts. You are the one who decides what deserves your attention, your focus, and your energy. When you master your mind, you stop reacting to the world. You start creating it. You become the strategist. You become the decision maker. You bend reality because your mind is sharper than circumstance. The world will try to distract you. It will try to overwhelm you. But when you build your mental clarity, when you decontaminate your inputs, extract your thoughts, and contain your emotions, you will walk through life like a master strategist. You won't just survive, you will thrive. You will lead. And that is the true power of a clear mind.